What is up, and welcome to the week of Seth, where each day I'll be posting a new learning Seth video for the next 5 days. I'm gonna be going over buttons today and how to use them, strategy for them. Then tomorrow we're gonna do combos, B&Bs and stuff. Then we're gonna do meaties and frame traps. Then we're gonna do V skill and then V trigger. So this full week we're gonna be talking about this character, Seth. And let me tell you, I have been grinding with this character. If you can see the points in my top corner, they are low. Because I decided to jump in straight to ranked with this character when it first launched. And this account was Grandmaster. Now it's down to Super Diamond. Just taking loss for loss for loss. This has been the hardest character for me to learn because of the low HP pool and stun pool. And it really shows. I finally started getting a hold of this character. I finally started getting some win streaks. You know, I reached a 10-game win streak not too long ago on stream. And, you know, I'm feeling good about the character. And I feel like I finally know enough of the character to teach and help you guys understand and maybe pick up this character faster. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about his buttons. So we're going to go through each normal and each special move he has. And we're just going to talk about when I like to use them and when I think is a good time to use them. So let's start with his light buttons. So his light punch, it's pretty damn good. It's a 4-framer. It is cancelable into moves, so that's light. So you can like buffer in neutral, like, and it has pretty good reach. But like that's really all I can like. Sometimes you can actually use this if your opponent is crossing you up. You can use this to anti-air cross up. It can be used for that pretty effectively actually. But besides that, it's mostly like a combo filler tool, like stuff like that. We'll talk more about combos later. But it's like the way I use this mostly is just in neutral. Like if I'm playing against an opponent that likes to dash a lot, it's pretty good for just like because of his range, just get off me. But besides that, I haven't really used it for cross up yet, but I see people do it against me, so I think it's actually pretty good at that. Then we have his crouch light punch. Crouch light punch is his free framer. He has a free framer, and it's a pretty damn good free framer to be honest. Like it cancels into itself. It cancels into the stand light kick, which we'll get into why. Well, not cancel, it links into stand light kick. And we'll go into why that's good. But again, you have like some pretty decent, easy combos with it. And it's a good free framer with pretty damn good range, to be honest. So you can wake up and try to be cheeky and interrupt your opponent's pressure with a quick cut up with it. Like it's a pretty good, it's a good free framer. And you can definitely use it for that. Then there is his stand light kick, as I talked about. His stand light kick, the reason this button is good is because this is the only light button he has that cancel into the spin kick, which is like his knockdown. If you want to get a knockdown afterwards, you have to spend bars, so like stuff like that. The DP does get a knockdown, but you can't do pressure after it. You're unsafe if you dash up in their face. So light kick is really good because we can combo it into the light version of the spin kick and the EX version, which gives us combos. Ah, messed it up. So that's why the stand light kick is really good. And it's a bit wonky in it. It has like a weird cancel. Like it's hard to. You can't really like. It takes. The hit stun is weird on it because it has so much hit stun. Like it can combo into that move. So it takes a bit of time to get used to actually like comboing with it and cancel with it, but it's a good button, and you can use it like the stand light punch, and like you use it like you can be out here, and if you're playing against the opponent that really likes to dash at you, or you may be fishing for a button with it, you can just like buffer and get a knockdown and get some pressure. So pretty good light button he has there. Bit wonky, but it's good. Then the cross light kick. I mostly use this for just like straight up, like just like poke, like Rashid would do, where they like do a small poke, like the opponent doesn't have a lot of HP. You can just like, you know, put that out there, and it's hard to whiff punish, it's hard to punish it. So you can just kind of like get away from me. It's not cancelable, so that's like the best use I know of it. Like be cheeky like that. That's kind of his lights on the ground, and he has his cross up is his crouch light kick, jump light kick. That's his cross up button. The jump light punch has its uses. It's a bit, it's very situational. I mostly use it for like Vegas, flying Barcelona, EX flying Barcelona. It's pretty good to jump back, light punch that. That's pretty effective, but you can also, most of the time I'd use jump medium punch, especially if it's like more upwards than it is horizontally in front of you. But that's usually where I see it be used. And that's kind of his light buttons, so let's move on to his mediums. His mediums, he definitely has some really good tools in his medium buttons. His stand, medium punch. I feel like I haven't really been using it for it because it's hard, but I feel like this is a really good whiff punish button. Like if you see your opponent whiffing stuff in neutral, you can kind of just press this and like you can kind of not confirm it, but you can kind of offer it into the tire combo. So like if they whiff something in neutral, then you can just be like, and if it hits, you get a combo, which is pretty damn good. So definitely a good whiff punch button. Also like pretty good pressure button. Like it's annoying to deal with because it moves him kind of a bit forward. So it's hard for the opponent to actually like kind of figure out. Like if you definitely do it from this range, it can be hard for, even though you're -2 with it, it can be very annoying to deal with. Then he has his special forward medium punch. Again, this is a really good poke in my opinion. This is a really annoying good poke. It has a lot of priority and you can kind of just be in neutral. Like it's -2 like the other one, but you can kind of just, and it can also be used in some combos, meaty situations, get some really good combos. It is also a starter for a tire combo, this one, which can be used to cancel into V-trigger for a lot of plus frames. And I also see some guys, I see some players being able to hit confirm that. I can't do that. I don't quite understand how they do it, but apparently it is possible. I see some Seth players do it. They might be reacting to the counter hit. I haven't really looked too much into it. But I think that might be the case. And another reason this poke is really good is if you're fishing in neutral and you get a hit, it can cancel into light kick. So you can just, like, it's pretty easy to hit confirm because of like there's a lot of hits done on the counter hit. Missed it again. But yeah, so I think that's a really good poke because of this. So like good poke on normal hit and on counter hit, you get a knockdown combo. So very decent poke in kind of like the mid-range around here. It's pretty damn good. Then we have his crouch medium punch. His crouch medium punch +3 on block and is also a really good poke button. Like it can be very annoying and hard to deal with a Seth that goes just like, you know, is going forward and just like, because like +3 on block, even like even on the chip situation is like insane. Like that's annoying to deal with. That's -4. These light punches are -4. We'll get into that a bit later, but for that range, it's hard to deal with. And it's also one of his main combo starter tools, this crouch medium punch. So like the usual combo, we'll talk about combos later, but it's normally like something like that. And on counter hit, it combos into itself. So like in neutral, if you're just like out fishing and you could get a random counter hit, you can most of the time confirm it, get a knockdown. So that's really good. Also, if you are ready, like this is also his meaty button, which we'll get into in another video too. But a meaty situation, if you can react to it and you get a counter hit, it can be linked into his crouch stand hard punch, which gives him some new combo opportunities, which is really nice. So definitely like a really good poking tool, annoying to deal with, cancelable into all his special moves, and just in general, it's one of his best poking buttons, in my opinion. Really good at that. Then there's his kicks, his medium kick. I didn't really know how to use this button to start with, I'll be honest. I really didn't know how to use this button. It seems like a subpar poke. Like, it seems like a good poke when you first see it, like, oh, this is a good poke button. But then, as you play, you discover that it doesn't hit crouch. So, like, especially against a character like you have to be pretty close for it to hit crouch. So, especially against characters like Ryu, that they will often, you know, crouch medium kick buffered into a EX Hadouken. So it can be very dangerous to do this in neutral, because if they decide to do the crouch medium kick into EX Hadouken, suddenly you're knocked down in a pressure situation. So you can't really use it like that. I discovered randomly in a match where I was just playing around with the buttons, this is actually a really good anti-air. If you have followed this channel for a while and you know, like, I play a lot of Urian, this button is very comparable to Urian's forward medium punch. It is actually a really good anti-air for further away jump-ins. Surprisingly good at that. And also against certain characters, like Abigail, that has more shallow jumps. It is really good at keeping him out. Like very, very good. It has a lot. The hitbox is actually really, really good on this button at the top part. So it's a good anti-air. So I have the butt here set to jump, and if you wait a bit, it's actually a really good far away anti-air. He does a medium kick in the air right now. And like you don't even need to be that far away. Like, it's pretty damn good for forward jumps. Surprisingly good. You just you have to be a bit patient. If you do it too fast, you're gonna get hit. But if you wait a bit, damn it, he was a bit too close. You actually get a really good anti-air out of it, which is very surprising. It was very surprising to me when I discovered that. But yeah, good button for that. Then we go to his crouch medium kick. People say this is hit confirmable, that you can hit confirm this. I'm not really convinced, but it's still a really good button in neutral, like fishing button. Like, you can put this out in neutral very confidently and hope you get a knockdown like this. It doesn't work too well with the punches because of the range. Like, so a lot of times you'll be out of range, and if you're closer, it gets dangerous doing this. So it's not as good with the punches because of the blowback on hit, but it's definitely very good with the light kick. So if you space this well, it's hard to deal with on block, and it's really annoying and can be very good pressure. Very good chip pressure. That is unsafe, but hard to punish. And if you're really gutsy, you're really confident in your neutral, and you know you're gonna hit him, like you're gonna walk back and forward and like do stuff like that, it's also really good. So like this button is really good. It's a really good button in neutral, put out button in neutral. I'm not really convinced it's hit confirmable. I haven't really played too much with it. But I think it's a bit hard to do that. But it's definitely like definitely a good poke button for further away that you can give you a knockdown. So that's his medium ground buttons. Yeah, that's his medium ground buttons. His jumping buttons. This one, I usually use this as a jump back. That's when I use this. Where if I'm in a situation like Akuma jump fireballs or stuff like that, I feel like I'm in an uncomfortable situation, I will sometimes go for this because it has a very long horizontal range. So it's very good to just jump back medium kick. You can also do it delayed. That's pretty good too. But besides that, like maybe in neutral, like you're in neutral, because I think it has further range than his hard kick. Maybe not. I don't think it has. But yeah, it definitely hits them higher on the head. So you hit them sooner with the medium kick. So like, you can do stuff like that if you want to. Kind of like Vega style anti-airs. Neutral jump, medium kick. But that's how I use it. It's not the most used button in his toolbox, but it's not unusable. This one, jump medium punch, again, you mostly use it for anti-airs. Actually, no, you mostly use it for a combo filler. It is part of his main combo, bread and butter combo. But also just like, it gives you this weird situation that if you can't get it off on an opponent that is jumping at you, it creates a situation where they are knocked down and you're right in their face. And you don't even like also in the other way around. Like, it just gives you space to relax. As if we did, you see they spin in the air, and suddenly it's a bit more dicey who gets the button on the ground. Whereas this, you get the knockdown, you get the advantage. So it's definitely not unusable. Also, you can cancel it into his, which also gives you a knockdown situation. I'm actually yeah, medium punch is the good one for getting the best knockdown situation afterwards. So that is mediums. Now his heavies. So hard punch. Hard punch is mostly a combo button. It can be used as a shimmy button. I use it sometimes as a shimmy button. So like I move like in and out of him. It's pretty good at that. Because if they don't throw, if they don't go for the shimmy and they just block the hit, this is -2. The hard punch hands are -2. So it's not unsafe, but they can interrupt in between. You can actually jab in between the hard punch and the cancel into the hard punch hands. You can't do it between the other hands, but the hard punch hands you can jab in between. So I use it mostly as a shimmy tool and a combo filler. So like you'll often see it in the target combo, in the counter hit combo I showed you. Also straight up just like if you want the most damaging combo, you do that. I'll show you the full combo in the next video. So that's mostly where I use the hard punch. Then there is his forward hard punch. This is a cross counter button. It's really good in... It's -4 on block, but if you space it right, like here, and they block, it's not really punishable, and it kind of gives Seth a way to create pressure. Seth wants to be close to the opponent because he wants to be able to like do dive kicks at him and like annoy him with the medium punch and like this button. So he wants to be kind of close. So when he's out here, he kind of wants a quick way in, and like this button is really good at that. And if by the off chance that, but for some reason they are pressing a button at this range, or maybe the real player is about to do a Hadouken, you get a cross counter. And then we're gonna talk about why I don't really like this cross counter for DP punishes, but yeah, you get a cross counter, and you can get a combo from that. So that's mostly how I haven't been using this button too much, but that's definitely a way you can use it. And I feel like I don't use it enough because it's actually really good at that. I don't think that would be safe if they block, but like around here, it's definitely safe if they block. Then there is his crouch. This is a sweep. His sweep is on crouch hard punch. This button, some Seth players use it like a Vega slide. I don't know how I like that. You can cancel into V-trigger and get a very favorable knockdown situation or plus situation on block. And it can be used go under fireballs, which is pretty funny. So if you're really smart, you can do stuff like that, which is cute. Hard to do, but it's cute. And that's kind of how his hard punch, crouch hard punch works. Then there is, let's take the hard kick first. So hard kick. This is a really good anti-air. This is an insanely good anti-air for especially like closer jumps, like this one. If they jump around here, it's almost guaranteed that it's gonna anti-air. We can take the jump medium kick from before. You see, it's very good for like pesky cross-ups if you do it early enough. It's not as good as Urian's stand hard kick. If you play Urian, I'm gonna be referencing Urian sometimes because he's my main character. But definitely, like, it's a good anti-air, has a lot of priority, hard to deal with as the jumping guy. But it can also be kind of used, like, it's a weird button. It's a weird button hurtbox and hitbox wise. So like you can kind of just use it in neutral. And if they put a poke out, there's a high chance you win. You get the priority, and then you can like do stuff like that. So definitely an annoying button to play against, and it's more than just a nice anti-air. I have often in the corner. Just been like this because like if he jumps, I get the anti-air, and if he tries to poke, there's a high chance he gets counter hit. Very annoying button. Then we have his, let's take his crouch first. So his crouch, hard kick, also good poke. This is a really good poke. I very often, because of its range and how it works, use it to activate into V-trigger because on hit, it combos into the spin kick, which gives you a long combo. And on block, you are +8 on V-trigger activation. So not a bad button in that regard. And it's just a really good poke. It looks like an anti-air. It can be used like an anti-air, but you have to be really far away. We're talking like around here because it doesn't have that much. It doesn't have that high of a hitbox and has quite a bigger hurtbox. This button can be whiff punished kind of easily. So you definitely have to be certain of it hitting. But if it hits, it's a good poke. It's a good, annoying poke. Seth... People are kind of underestimating Seth in how good his pokes are. I think it's because, like, his pokes are good, but it's only really his mediums he get anything from. Like, his mediums he can cancel into knockdowns. But his hard pokes are just really strong. That wasn't supposed to be that, but we're going with... Like, this is really strong for, like, further away. This is strong for further away. It's good, annoying pokes. This one is especially... Like, you can really use this a lot against some inexperienced players, and they will get be hit a lot, and they'll start jumping at you, and then you can anti at them. Very funny. Then we go to his special kicks. So this is an overhead. It is not cancelable into V-trigger. And it's like... It's alright. Coming from Urian, it's not that good, to be honest. Because after I throw... You're not in the range for an overhead. So you kind of have to take the risk and move a bit forward. And do the overhead, which means that even if he crouches like... Oh, that's because I'm just forward. Even if he crouches, he's not in range. So it's a bit risky because you have to, like, if you throw and he's close to dying, you have to kind of move forward a bit. And which means there's a chance of, like, you... Like, let's make him quick get up, just so you can see the timing is a bit awkward. If you quick get... Like, see how... If you quick get up something, I'm gonna get hit. It takes... So he has to be frozen, scared of doing something. So it is an overhead. It can be hard to spot, in my opinion. So it's not bad. But it's definitely not the best overhead either. Because of its range. But the reason some people really... The reason why I think they kind of nerfed the range on it is because he also has this kick, which is a low. This is a low hit. And it kind of sucks them for closer. Kind of funny. And this can be cancelled into V-trigger. So that's kind of dirty, in my opinion. And it's not being used that much yet, because it's still kind of like Seth is still a new character. But I think we're going to see this a lot in the future, because it's actually really dirty. And this is also a cross counter button. So, and it sucks them closer. So this is why I mentioned before with the forward hard punch why I wouldn't use that button as a DP punish. I'll use this one. And this is why, like, it feels easier to do, and it sucks them closer, and you don't really have to deal with that awkward timing of if you're a bit too late, they're gonna do this. So, like, it feels easier to do. Ample time to do the same to guard. Oh. Guard, set guard option, I think is the last one. Yeah. If you set him to guard. Ample time to do it. That's a combo. But I'll talk about in the next video. And that's kind of like, yeah. I think it's good. Not used that much right now, but I think it's gonna be used more in the future. If I have to take a guess at it. Like, it's not bad range, it's not good range either. I think, like, the overhead... I think the overhead and the low kick has the same range. So that's kind of his ground normals with his hard button. Then there's his jump-ins. He has two really good jump-ins. He has his jump hard kick, which is really good for further away jump-ins. And he has his jump hard punch, which is also... Like, it's better for close-up because it actually can out-prioritize some anti-airs. Like, Jury's doing a stand medium kick as an anti-air. Some anti-air jabs. This actually has enough of a downward hitbox. I keep saying the wrong thing. Enough of a downward hitbox to be able to beat them out, which is nice. Ooh. So that's really nice. And that's kind of his buttons. I think I've been all of them. Yeah, so let's go forward and talk about his special moves. Seth has 4 special moves. He has the punches, he has a spin kick, he has a DP, and he has dive kicks. What do you call that? Wheel kick? Let's call it wheel kick. I'm probably going to call it dive kick accidentally. So let's start with talking about his punches. Punches are a nice poking tool. They can be nice and frustrating, and they are plus on hit, minus on block, -4 on the light and medium version, -2 on the hard punch version. And they're just nice to do. If you space them right, they're hard to deal with. You can even like do them raw. They can be cancelled into V-trigger for more combo fun. The EX version, the EX version gives you a advantageous knockdown, which we'll talk about more in the pressure and meaty video. And that's kind of all there is to them. The hard punch one I mentioned before, which is kind of special. It can only be hit through the stand hard punch. We'll talk more about that in the combo video. But yeah, like the hands are just nice pokes. Nice chip pokes. Fun to do in neutral. I even sometimes just do raw EX punches because it moves in a bit forward. It's fast. It's -2 on block. So you can kind of just throw it out there. And if it hits, it hits. And you get a knockdown. You might even kill off it. I've done that before. Like playing against some Karen player. And they're like in neutral and they're about to die. But they have V-trigger or super and you're a bit scared. You can kind of just throw it out there. If they move into it, they die. If they block, you're -2. It's fine. So you can use it like that. Of course, you spend a bar and it's not really the best, but it can be used. And in some situations, it's worth it. Then we go to... Let's talk about spin kick. Spin kick is his only knockdown tool with no bar that gives him advantage. There's the light one. That's the medium one. That's the hard one. They have this weird... Not weird, but they have this... they are fireball invincible. And on top of being fireball... Oh, that's the wrong one. On top of being fireball invincible, they also beat out fireballs. What we do if we do a hard one? We go through it. Which is kind of fun. And like the hard punch one, you really don't have to time that much. The light punch one works best at longer ranges. So it's a fun move, and there's definitely more utility to it than you think. That's nice. It is also his only, as I said, knockdown without bar. And with a bar, it's mostly used as his bread and butter. Man, I'm missing that combo today. That's nice. Thank God we're talking buttons and not combos. But yeah, the meter version is usually used in his bread and butter combo. It's pretty damn good. And that's kind of all there is to it. But that's also like, it has some uses. Then let's talk his DP. His DP, it's alright. It's not the best DP. It's not the worst. Doesn't move forward a lot. So like, just like that doesn't hit. You have to use the hard punch version. The medium punch one have invincibility. So on jump-ins, this is the one you would use the medium punch to anti-air with. Boop. You can do that if you want to. And the hard punch one moves you forward quite a bit. So you can actually use that for... let's say Akuma does a jump forward fireball, right? You can actually use this to either trade and get an advantageous trade with the Akuma by hitting him and get hit by the fireball. Or you sometimes actually go under the fireball. Like you go under and hit the Akuma and the fireball is behind you. So it can be... Like that's where I would use this the most besides combo filling, the hard punch one. But definitely like the medium punch one is the one you would use the most. And it's the most useful for anti-airs. EX1 has full invincibility. So if you like to just wake up EXDPs, you can do that. And then the last special move is his dive kicks. His wheel kicks. They are interesting. If you don't know what I'm doing here, I'm doing instant... I'm calling it instant air dive kicks. I played 8 on Street Fighter 4, so it's instant air Jaguar kicks to me. But basically... I think I'm gonna do a video by itself at some point just explaining how to do this, because I think there's a lot of people who don't know how to do this. But let's just cover it in this video too. So an instant air dive kick is when you're doing a dive kick as fast as, like, you see how fast I'm doing this compared to here. You see how close I am to the ground. The way you do it, let's look at the input. Let's do it this side. I'm a bit on this side. Do another one. There we go. That's a clean input. Look at that input. Clean. The way you do it is you first do the quarter circle. The quarter circle you use on the ground, in the air normally. You do that first. And then after you've done that, you press up or up forward. Sometimes I do up to up forward. So you do like that. That's like, you can see the input is there again. Like if we, like, yeah, that's the input. The reason you want to do up or up forward is if you do it backwards, you can't jump back doing the dive kick. So you want to avoid the back input, because if you do back input, it won't come out. But if you do forward or up, you get the input. And then as you do the up forward, you want to wait just a millisecond. Just a tiny bit. You have to feel this out. You have to, this is like go into training mode and practice kind of thing. Because you have to wait just a second, because if you do it I'm going to try to mess it up here and do it too fast. So, because if you do it too fast, you're going to get the kick, you know, you're going to get the spin kick on the ground, because the Seth isn't getting off the air before you press the button. So even though you can see I do the right input, you can see it's even on the up forward, I'm doing it too fast, so he's still on the ground. So you want to wait just a split second. You want to do the motion input and then press the kick. Not press the kick as you're pressing up. That's the difference. And if you do it too late, oh man, this is even harder to mess up. You only do this in real matches. If you do it too late, you get that. You just get a, like... it's hard to be bad on purpose. You're only bad when you don't want to be, like that. You just get a jump forward light kick. Or medium kick, or whatever button you pressed. But yeah, so if you're doing it too fast, you get that. If you're doing it too slow, you get that. Something like that. So basically the input is just like that. So down, back, up, or up forward, or up forward, kick. The kick has to stand for itself, as you can see in the input. It has to be, there should be no input, directional input with the kick. And then you're doing it crisp and clean. So that's how you do it. So let's talk about what you can use it for. Let's actually put up the frame there, because it's a bit easier to see as you do it. For this one. It's because that's kind of a special thing. So if you do the light version, you can see he's -2 on hit. But it also depends on where you hit him. If you hit him very shallow out here, you can see I get +5. If you can't see it in time, just pause the video. So it depends on where you hit them. It depends, because what is happening is I'm hitting him closer to the shoulder instead of the top of his head. So I get more plus frames. If he's crouching, I get even more plus frames. Oh, you can see +6, which means I can actually do combos like that. I can't remember if the medium punch one is... Nah, that one just gets you +2, because like you stay in the air for a bit longer. Like you can see there's a kind of a delay. So it's really good if you think your opponent's gonna do a... if they're looking for the light version and they're trying to anti-air with a normal button, you can do the medium one. And just like, you know, they see you try to do it, they press the button, but because you are in the air for just a tad bit longer, you're gonna win the button fight. The prioritization fight. But I don't think that this can only give you +2. I don't think you can get like a... Okay, +5. So you can if you... And on... Oh. Yeah. This one you can't really get combos from. Yeah. Even on crouch. But if we set him to block... I forgot to talk about this. But if we set him to block... you can see I get +2. Oh, right. He still have that on. Stop that. You can see we get +2 because he's crouched. Because he's crouch blocking it, I'm advantageous. If he is stand crouching it, I'm -2, as you can see, and I think I'm -4 with this one. And on crouch, I'm just going through them because I'm learning this too. But I'm learning with you guys right now. Yeah, -4 as well. This is more unsafe, but you can definitely use it to psych out your opponent. The hard punch one, 0 on block, really? On crouch, really? Damn, that's pretty... Okay, so basically you can really annoy 4-frame characters with this. If they're crouching. I guess on stand is something else. Oh my god, I can't do it on the side at the moment. -3, yeah, then it's punishable. But again, not by 4-frame characters. So that's pretty annoying for them. On hit, that one gives you a knockdown. God damn. Yeah. So that's kind of like how, like, that's how you do this instant air dive kick if you didn't know. It is very useful. It's a useful poke. It's useful for, like, let's say you have a throw heavy opponent. Like, you see sometimes, like, people do this, like, and then they whiff punish the throw. Seth can do, like that. That's very fun. Oh, you can't do that. A lot of fun to do. And, like, you can even, like, because you're that close to the face, you can, like, hit it, and you can do it again, because they're gonna keep throwing. Because you're advantageous on hit. So, it's very fun to do these. Especially, like, as an old 8-on player, I absolutely love doing this. I love it. It's fun. It's fun to do. The CX one, I don't really know much about it. Let's just... Yeah, you can actually just do it really close to the air. Oh my god, that side is awful today. But yeah, that also gives you a hard knockdown, but you can do it very close to the ground. Probably some combos with it. Most likely. But I think that's all his normals. Everything I wanted to talk about with his normals. I don't think I missed any of them. If I do, let me know in the comments. Let me know if I missed something really crucial in the comments. Hope you learned something. And hope you learned how to use some buttons you might not have been using or might not have thought about using. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Look forward to the combo video tomorrow. See ya!